Social media is set to become a $700+ billion industry by 2027. With that is going to be a rise, a really big influx of online entrepreneurs looking to actually start making social media content the correct way. And I'm here to help. Through my journey of creating content for the last 5 years and for the last 3 years helping other entrepreneurs do the same, and in the last 3 years turning my skill set into a 6-figure company, here are the 4 most common mistakes that I see most entrepreneurs making when it comes to creating social media content. And before you think you're special, I've talked to hundreds of entrepreneurs over the last 3 years, and literally like over 99% of them was starting to make this mistake. So don't think you're special. Let's get into it. Number 1 is picking the wrong platform. If you're watching this, 9 times out of 10, you're an entrepreneur. And if you're an entrepreneur, I know for a fact you've heard somebody say, all successful entrepreneurs have 7 streams of income. And the fact of the matter is that's completely untrue. But before people believe that it's untrue, they still try to figure out the 7 streams of income thing. And most entrepreneurs are still stuck in that mindset, and they carry that over to making content, which is one of the worst things that you could possibly do. Here's exactly what I mean by that. A lot of people try to go to YouTube, then they try to master TikTok and YouTube at the same time, and they try to master Instagram, then they figure out about Snapchat, then they figure out about Pinterest, then they try to go on Twitter and do the Twitter thing, then they try to go on LinkedIn and master all of it, and that is the wrong thing. When you're starting out creating content as an entrepreneur, you have one of 2 goals. One is to actually just get traffic to your offer, get traffic and eyeballs on you. You want people to notice you and notice your business, so therefore you can just get all of that attention in one place and actually use this attention economy. The second thing, which honestly is is the fact of just pure conversion. Like, yo, I'm already kind of making content. I kind of already have like 4,000 followers on whatever account. Let me actually start to convert these people. And so with that, you need to be able to master one platform. You'll hear a lot of super high-end entrepreneurs, people who are actually doing stuff in the space. You'll hear them say 1 offer to 1 target audience to 1 million. And I want you to take that same approach when it comes to content. But I am going to tweak it a little bit. I want you to do 1 platform speaking to 1 target audience to 100,000. So until you reach 100,000 on 1 account, I don't want you to touch any other. But Jaden, okay, you're talking all this gibberish. You're telling me you're talking to all these entrepreneurs, but how do you figure out how to pick a platform? Super quick guide. Right here, what you're looking at is what I call my pack, aka platforms and culture, which is something that I completely stole from Gary Vee. But my version is a little bit different. See here, I just have these little filled in graphs from 0 to 100%. And based off of each platform, honestly, the big 3, when it comes to visual content, which is obviously YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, here are the percentages based off of each category. I want you to take a look at this, and I want you to screenshot this and use it for yourself. But that's not deep enough. So let's go a little bit deeper. Let's talk about 5 platforms. X/Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. A lot of people forget about Facebook. TikTok and YouTube. X/Twitter. If your target audience's age range is between 18 to 50, this is perfect. If your goal is to create content that has a high professionalism rate, good. If you want to prioritize your writing skills with short text, long text, or like news, A1. And if your target audience fits in any of these categories when it comes to either just professionals, brands, or a leader, X will be a really good platform for you. Now let's move on to Instagram. The perfect age range for people on Instagram is between 18 to 34. Instagram has a medium professionalism rate, which really just means it's 50-50. If you want to prioritize visual content, aka videos and photos and carousels, Instagram is perfect. And if you want to tackle online entrepreneurs, businesses, brands, and creatives, and influencers, Instagram is like the perfect platform. I know I haven't talked about anything else, but me personally, I absolutely love Instagram just for the simple fact that it's the best in between for every single one of these platforms. Instagram is the best. You get every single good aspect from all of these platforms all inside of Instagram. That's my personal opinion. I'm not sponsored to say this, I need to be. Speaking of, nor am I sponsored to be rocking this Rode thing. Honestly, the microphone inside of it isn't even Rode. That's another story. Anyways, let's talk about Facebook, which is like one of the most overlooked platforms when it comes to not only growing an audience, but monetizing that audience and taking your rented audience and turning it into your own audience, which is another conversation for another time. The perfect age range for somebody on Facebook to go on there and try to grow an audience, that audience must be between the ages of 25 and 54. And just like its brother Instagram or sister, the professionalism on there is at a medium, which means it's like not too professional, but it's not like super crazy, like some other platforms that we're about to talk about. If you wanted to take X and Instagram and you wanted to make them have a baby when it comes to creating styles of content, Facebook would be it, because you can do your written content and you can prioritize your visual content, aka mixed media. And if your goal is to target businesses and communities, Facebook is like A1. Good old TikTok. Best age ranges for TikTok, which is no surprise to anybody, is 16 to 24, which means like the age range is a little bit lower for a lot of people, which also kind of automatically means the professionalism is at a low. Content that you're able to get away with on TikTok, you won't really be able to get away with on other platforms. Obviously, we all know TikTok is very popular for their short form content, period. There's literally like no other content besides short form. And if you want to target young creatives, young business owners, like super young business owners and influencers, TikTok is perfect. And last but not least, daddy of all social medias, YouTube. I know I said that Instagram is my favorite, but truthfully, deep down in my heart, I know that YouTube is the best social media platform, point blank period. And if your goal is to target people between the ages of 18 and 49, and if you're looking for people that have a high professionalism rate and people who have a lot of money to spend and invest in themselves, and people who want to spend more time with you, YouTube is one of the best platforms. If you want to tackle business owners, businesses in general, high-end influencers and high-end creators, as well as people who are educators, YouTube is perfect. So there you go. That's mistake number one, down the drain. You should never be picking the wrong platform to be posting on again. Mistake number two is looking at the wrong metrics for growth. I don't know what it is about you people in looking at your follower count, thinking that that's your main metric for growth, and that could be the furthest from the truth. And here's why. It is 2024, people. And what I mean is, it's not 2016 anymore. If you had 100,000 followers in 2016, and you made a post, literally just about anything, you could pick up your phone, make a post, it would pretty much go to a lot of that 100,000 people. In 2024, it's kind of the complete opposite, where they show your post to a small percentage of your target audience, and they base whether or not they show it to more people solely off of how this first little group that they push it to interacts with it and engages with it. Meaning, people's BS meters are higher, and the platforms are no longer prioritizing just because you have X amount of followers, they're prioritizing good content. And so in order for you to create good content, you have to know what real metrics to look at in order to help you grow that content. The best metrics to look at are saves, shares, and comments. If people are sharing, that means what you are talking about, right? Your video in and of itself is relevant to them, which means if it's relevant to them and you're speaking to one audience, you're reaching that audience. If you're looking at saves, your video is being saved, which means it's extremely valuable. People are saving this not only to maybe save it and share it later, but they're saving it for themselves so they can consume it more and more and more, again and again and again. And if you're looking at comments, that means your video or your piece of content in general is really, really good at engaging your audience, right? It made them want to say something about it, whether it was just such good value that they was like, yo, I just have to say something in the comment section, or whether it was something they agree with or disagree with. Whatever it is, your engagement in that video is good. And another hidden, and I don't even want to call it hidden because quite frankly, it's not hidden at all, and people have been doing it for years, but in the entrepreneur space, nobody's looking at this. It's your retention graph. If you're creating videos, right? If you're on platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, look at the retention graph of your videos, especially the videos that are performing really, really well and the videos that are performing really, really, really like crap, because it will show you where people clicked off in the video and where people stayed in like the average view rate of it. The reason that's important is just for the simple fact that you can look at that and see, okay, cool. This piece of content was really good here. People stayed here, but people left here in this video. So therefore I could take this piece and put it in that piece of video and take that out, never do that again. And it teaches you how to create better content just by looking at the metrics and numbers. But the worst thing you can do is look at your follower count. Please, I beg of you not to. The third mistake that I see like almost every single entrepreneur make is not having the right content structure. Now, truthfully, this is one of the things that I really, really, really dive deep into inside of my brand new product and program that's down below if you want to go check it out. But having the right structure with your individual pieces of content is one of the most important things, and it literally makes or breaks your video, and here's why. When you have the right structure, you automatically have storytelling within your content, which Storytelling is what keeps people watching. You remember that retention graph that I just talked about in mistake number 2? That's a big part of that. If you have really good storytelling, your retention graph is going to be good because the storytelling is going to help people stay, aka the structure of your video. And I see a lot of entrepreneurs who literally turn on the camera and just try to speak. They try to speak with no guide, with no structure, and they think that that piece of content is going to come out good just because they know a thing or two. And while sometimes the video may perform well, most of the time, majority 9 times out of 10, or even 8 times out of 10, the video is going to perform like crap because you have no real structure. But Jaden, how in the world do I fix this? Best way to do it, I want to keep this very short so I can move on to mistake number 4. If you want to be able to structure your content better, here's like the easiest guide to help you. You're welcome. I'm keeping it on screen right now, so therefore you can take the time to screenshot it. And while you're screenshotting, I'm gonna need you to go down below and press that subscribe button. Appreciate you. Anyways, let's move on to mistake number 4. Man, this mistake is probably the biggest of all the mistakes, and it's the thing that completely ruins a lot of entrepreneurs, not only online reputation, just the complete growth of their online success, and that is taking too much advice and ideas from everybody else. And what I really want to touch on is the ideas portion, because when you actively look for content ideas, I get a lot of entrepreneurs who are like, Jaden, I'm looking for these content ideas. You're actively looking for ideas to make content about, so therefore you can post those ideas. And you're thinking that if I look for the content ideas, they're going to perform better than if I take the stuff that I already know. And that is completely backwards. You looking for content ideas means that you're getting inspiration from other people, aka majority of the people that your target audience is already seeing every single day, multiple times a day. Now, what I'm not saying is you should never get inspiration from other people. What I am saying is that you should limit it a lot, because there is going to be a gigantic shift within your content, the way that people view it, the way that people watch it, consume it, engage with it, react to it, come back to watch more, when you actually start to use and pull ideas from your own frameworks, your own principles, your own strategies, your own beliefs, your own experiences, rather than looking at what everybody else is posting. If you click this video right here, I made a whole video talking about this thing I call the value pyramid, which when you are looking at other people's content majority of the time for your own content ideas, you end up in the Googleable section, which means that you're making content that your audience is already seeing, that they see every single day, that they can really just go and look up on Google, and you start to get mixed in with the other gurus. And that's not where you want to be, because you're not deemed as valuable at that stage of value. And so where I want to get you when you start looking at your own experiences, frameworks, principles, ideas, and beliefs as content, you're going to get automatically to the experience level and to the pay to free level, which is where the content you're creating then starts to make you look like an authority. And then you start to be able to position yourself as somebody that people actually want to consume content from and then buy stuff from. But you're never, I guarantee it, you're never going to get there, or you're never going to be able to get to the level that you really want to get to by just making content ideas that everybody else is making. I have to be honest with you. So let me go over these 4 things really quickly one more time. Mistake number 1 is picking the wrong platform. Once you actually pick the wrong platform, and I need you to apply these 3-1 rules. 1 target audience on 1 single platform until 100,000 followers/subscribers. Mistake number 2 is looking at the wrong growth metric. Please, for the love of God, do not look at your follower count to make sure or try to figure out if you're growing based off of that. That's the wrong thing. Look at your retention graphs, look at your shares, your saves, and your comments on each video. Not having the right content structure. The content structure is going to be the storytelling of your video. And once again, if you want more in-depth help with that, check the link in the bio. But once you perfect the storytelling of your individual pieces of content, people will be able to actually watch them easier. And if they can watch them easier, they're gonna watch more, and then your content becomes bingeable. But last but not least, stop taking so much advice and ideas from everybody else in your industry, around your industry, and start digging deep. Start looking at your own experiences, your own beliefs, your own principles, your own frameworks, your own anything else inside of your brain for content, because that's what people are really searching for. They're searching for the person that they can look up to as an authority. And if you look like everybody else and you're making content like everybody else, you will never fit that description. I hope every single entrepreneur watching this was actually able to take some really, really, really good value from it. I hope you like my microphone. Let me know if you like it. I'll keep making videos with it. I feel like an interviewer right now. Hey, Jaden. Dope. You know, I feel like a interview right now, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you were able to get some amazing value from it. I know I talked super fast. Slow the video down if you need to. Like this video or subscribe if you want to. Anyways, peace out. Thank me. Later.